Today's roundup: an actively exploited SD-WAN flaw on a 4-day clock, a SystemBC command server exposing more than 1,570 victims tied to a ransomware operation, a negotiator pleading guilty for aiding BlackCat, urgent updates for Siemens industrial Wi-Fi gear, and the UK opening probes into Telegram and Team Chat platforms over CISA. It's also a busy patch cycle across multiple vendors, while extortion incidents continue to drive operational disruption and recovery pressure. Welcome to your operational cybersecurity briefing. I'll lay out the facts, why they matter, and what defenders can do now. First, CISA flags a new SD-WAN flaw as actively exploited in attacks. U.S. government agencies have been ordered to secure affected Catalyst SD-WAN manager instances within 4 days. The vulnerability is already seeing exploitation in the wild, and it follows previous issues in the same product family. This matters because active exploitation sharply compresses your response window and increases the likelihood of immediate impact across internet-exposed management interfaces. Defenders should identify any Catalyst SD-WAN manager deployments, remove management access from the public internet, apply the vendor's latest fixes or mitigations without delay, and review recent authentication and configuration logs for signs of compromise. If patching can't be completed within the mandated window, implement compensating controls such as strict access control lists, MFA, and out-of-band monitoring on those systems. Next, a SystemBC C2 server reveals 1,570+ victims linked to the Gentleman Ransomware as a Service operation. Researchers tracking the operation observed attempts to deploy the well-known SystemBC proxy malware. Analysis of an associated command and control server exposed a sizable botnet footprint. SystemBC is used to establish SOC 5 tunnels that help attackers conceal traffic and move payloads. This follows earlier reporting on the same activity. It matters because the presence of SystemBC often precedes or accompanies hands-on keyboard ransomware actions, and the botnet scale shows broad reach across victim environments. For defenders, prioritize egress monitoring for suspicious SOC 5 tunneling, block unauthorized proxy traffic, and hunt for SystemBC persistence, scheduled tasks, or unusual service installations. Tighten lateral movement controls, validate backups and recovery paths, and ensure rapid isolation playbooks are ready if beaconing or tunneling is detected. Third, a ransomware negotiator pleads guilty to aiding BlackCat attacks in 2023. A Florida-based individual, age 41, admitted to teaming up with BlackCat operators starting in April 2023 and helping them extract higher ransoms from U.S. companies. He acted as a negotiator on behalf of multiple victims while secretly assisting the e-crime group. This matters because it underscores how the extortion ecosystem can exploit trusted roles, eroding confidence in third-party negotiators and complicating incident response. For defenders and executives, pre-vet any outside negotiators, establish legal and law enforcement engagement paths in advance, and maintain a clear chain of custody for all communications. During an incident, preserve evidence, avoid disclosing internal constraints that increase leverage, and consider vetted counsel or official channels rather than ad hoc intermediaries. Fourth, Siemens Scalance W700 IEEE 802.11n devices prior to version 6.6.0 are affected by multiple vulnerabilities. Siemens has released a new version and recommends updating to the latest release for the Scalance W700 family. A number of CVEs are addressed across these builds. This matters because wireless infrastructure and industrial and operational technology networks can provide high-impact entry points if left unpatched, potentially enabling credential exposure, traffic manipulation, or pivoting into sensitive segments. Defenders in OT and manufacturing should inventory Scalance W700 deployments, schedule an upgrade to 6.6.0 or later, and validate that management interfaces are restricted to trusted networks. Where patch windows are tight, strengthen segmentation, disable unused services, and monitor for abnormal association, authentication, or management traffic on plant wireless networks. Finally, the UK is probing Telegram and Team Chat sites over suspected CSAM sharing. The National Communications Regulator has opened an investigation into Telegram based on evidence it's being used to disseminate child sexual abuse material, and is examining Team Chat platforms as part of the same concern. This matters because regulatory scrutiny can lead to platform changes, fines, or service restrictions, which may alter risk exposure and monitoring priorities for enterprises that permit or rely on these channels. For defenders, review acceptable use and monitoring policies related to messaging and chat platforms. Ensure reporting pathways for illegal content are understood by staff and align with legal obligations in your jurisdiction. Where necessary, adjust network controls to reflect updated risk assessments and coordinate with trust and safety, legal, and compliance teams on any platform policy shifts that affect business processes. That's the briefing. If this helped you prioritize your next moves, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with your incident response and IT ops teams. Stay patched, watch for proxy beacons, and I'll see you in the next update.